What's up, deep thinkers? It's Robert from Existence First. And what I want to talk to you about today is the difference between light problems and heavy problems. Okay, here's a light problem. Light problem is you don't really like your job, like it's kind of boring. Okay, here's a heavy problem or a deep problem. You ask yourself, how would I feel if I spent the next 40 years working at this job? Would I be able to say that my life was meaningful? That's a heavy problem. Okay, here's another problem. You could also say surface versus deep, but I'll just say light versus heavy. A light problem. Your neighborhood is it's kind of noisy, so it's hard for you to like concentrate and do your homework or whatever. Here's a heavy problem. Your neighborhood is it's full of victim mentality and small-minded thinking, and you feel that in order for you to have any chance at being successful in life, you need to get out of that neighborhood. That would be a heavy problem. Last one. Okay, so light problem. Your best friend goes on a long vacation, goes out of town on a long vacation. So you don't see them as often. Here's a heavy problem. Your best friend dies. Now, what do all of those three examples have in common? The heavy problems. Those are problems I have faced and overcome personally. And how did I do that? It's because heavy problems require heavy solutions, or deep problems require deep solutions, or deep tools, right? And so this guy that I saw today, he said that he had stumbled upon my YouTube channel, and he was kind of what he really noted was, he said, wow, he's like, that's like some really deep stuff. He's like, I never think about things like that, but you seem to have like a very good like knowledge, like you understand things clearly, right? And I said, yeah, and it's funny because I forget how like every day I think about death every day, you know, like it's not. I'm gonna do a video on it, by the way, because I mean, I'm able to help people with that because I have a certain philosophy. My philosophy is strong enough to handle problems like that, right? My philosophy being like a deep or a heavy philosophy, it can take care of those problems, the heavy problems, okay? This is not for surface problems, okay? So you see the distinction, right? The last thing I'll say is what does these solutions, what do they look like? The heavy solutions for heavy problems, right? Well, the way I see it is, if our mind is capable of inducing suffering to us because of its power, right? And what I mean by that is like we're able to think of things from the past that are not happening currently, but we can suffer from thinking about them, right? If our minds are so powerful that we're able to do that, my line of thought is our minds must be just as powerful enough to create solutions for those, right? So that was kind of the driving force behind. If you go to existencefirst.com, you'll see there's a product called Unchained, and it's about how I came to realize that I examined my own mind and I saw that I was following these patterns that put me at a disadvantage to dealing with the world and to the problems of the world. And as soon as I fixed that, which it takes, sometimes it takes regular, like, shoot, I should probably watch it again myself, but sometimes you need like the regular, uh, the repetition or the reminders, uh, to psychologically occupy a certain position, because from that position, from a position of height, you're not susceptible to the same dangers as you are from being on the ground, from being on the surface. And that's what the existence first philosophy is about. It's about using deep thought to take ourselves to a different height, or you could say to a depth or something, right? So that we're no longer suffering unnecessarily. See, the surface problems are problems because what's presented on the surface is not actually causing the problem. It's the deeper stuff behind it that's causing the problem and the suffering that we're not addressing because we don't have the equipment to do so. We don't have a high enough vantage point, or we're not deep enough to see the roots of it. But once you change to that vantage point, then you see the whole world differently, right? That's all for now. Remember to think deeply and put your existence first.